holistic health, I was born into the industry. My parents actually went to naturopathic doctors when I was a child. So my mom was on a prenatal naturopathic formulation when I was born. So naturopathic medicine was just a way of life for me. So it wasn't to be introduced to it. I always was following this. We drank raw milk that was unpasteurized. We took supplements. I never had a vaccine all my life, neither any of my children. And it's just been, it was a natural thing for me to take this course of action, rather than I never wanted to go into being a medical doctor, because I always was trying to find things to help the people in their healing process what they couldn't find help with their medical doctor. January the 15th, 2009. It was a lovely morning. I was in my office with my wife, and my daughter was there with us. She lives in a separate residence. And I heard our gate bell ring. So when I looked out the window in my office, I seen undercover vans, not marked, and they were all waiting in front of my gate. So when I answered the phone, and they say, we have a warrant, they say, and we want to come into your home. And it's for what? It's just open the gate. They were very demanding. So when we finally had the gate open, they weren't patient enough for the gate to open. And finally, when I opened the gate, they already ran up to the door of our house. They were with a full SWAT team outfit, a bulletproof vest on. They are undercover. It's just like watching a movie of a hit when they're going in. It's just amazing. And my wife answers the door. And when she answers the door, they pushed the door so hard and knocked off the hinge pin. And they came out, and one was holding a gun and pointed it to her head. They would not show a search warrant. They would not give any identification. They would not show us their badge number. We thought it was actually a home invasion. And so what they did is my wife puts up her hand right away in surrender. And she says, we're good people. We mean you no harm. And they said, we have to make sure that the surroundings are clear for Health Canada. I said, Health Canada? You're protecting Health Canada in my home? How about my safety? And they put us down in our living room, sat us on the couch. I said, well, what's this all about? Don't you have a search warrant? He says, you'll give it one later. You'll have everything you need later. We went through everything in our house, my wife's drawers in the bedroom. I went upstairs in my office, go through everything. I said, can I go up and document what you're taking? No. I said, can I take photographs? No. Can I take a film? No. I said, well, how do I know what you're doing? You're maybe not planting something on me. You just sit right here. The officer says, if we wanted to, we could have you arrested while we did this, but we're being good to you because you're cooperating. And they stayed for 11 hours in our home, kept us in our living room for 11 hours. We were able to go into the kitchen and use the washroom with being supervised. They went through everything. They took my hard drives and my computer. I write books. I'm an author. They took I had a book on there that was ready to go to the publisher. They took that. They took all my personal files, not just business files, personal files. They actually went into our daughter's home, lives at a separate residence. Went into her house, her roommate answered the door, went up to her bedroom door, which she locks. They kicked it in, went through everything, all of her drawers. They searched all through the house looking for things thinking that she was going to have any vitamins in her home. These are vitamins. Folic acid. This was going about folic acid, not a crack house. I was in Ottawa talking to the parliamentary secretary, the Minister of Health. And I told him this story. And he says, we have crack houses in our neighborhood. I wish they had that type of presence for those. That was Colin Carey. And here, I am a naturopathic doctor trying to help people with remedies. And here I'm being harassed like this. Where's my freedom? I had no freedom. My father fought in World War II overseas for my freedom. And here my freedom was taken away in my own home. It was a violation. It never should have happened. There was no reason for this to happen. Under corporate law, all they had to do is phone me and set up an appointment. Why? Why was this force for vitamins? It's a travesty, and I think it's going to happen more and more and more. I don't think anyone's safe. I asked the officer, I said, do you know what you're here for? He said, no. I said, do you know that what we're selling? No, not really. I said, I'm a naturopathic doctor, and these are health products, vitamins. You know, all these products can be available over the shelf that they're taken here in the United States. None of them have any really, there's no risk to the public. This isn't a crack house. He changed his attitude really quick after he heard that. So I kind of believe that they're told that you're doing a drug raid, and they come in all heavy duty. They all come in pumped, like that guy. It seemed when he held the gun at my wife, I thought she would be killed. I definitely did. He was so angry. He was so angry. And you could see the look on his face, the anger. And I remember when I was dating my wife, she's from Eastern Europe, and that was the land under occupation then. I said, well, when you come to Canada to live, that's not going to happen. I said, we're a land of freedom. You don't have to worry about the Russians occupying. That day on the couch, I put my hand on her, and I had tears in my eyes, and I said, I'm sorry. Because everything I said was a lie to her. It just happened right in our home. How much worse then can that be? And so after the 11 hours, when they were ready to leave, they took everything. They took all our supplements, our whole vitamin line. They took $300,000 worth of our vitamins. Products that we were in process and would have, all it was is a label change, regulations. They took everything, our files. They even took a tax refund check that was from the federal government to my company, a $90,000 check to cripple us. They took our boxes, they took our scales, they took everything. And we have licensed products in Europe. We have 17 licensed products in Europe. And we sell our products. These products were allowed to be sold in the United States, allowed to be sold into Europe. So at the end, they took all my stock. I had no business. And that was a year and a half ago. My products have expired. I didn't get any products back. Even though these products, we now have licensing for most of these products, after the licensing, they still would not return our products. This is arginine, tyrosine, lysine, L-tryptophan, none of those. They wouldn't return, even the calcium. Anything was returned, nothing was returned. So that's all expired, sitting in Health Canada's warehouse. Even though you have, you feel responsible for your patients, if you have a product that you know is going to help them, what do you do? Do you first take care of your patients, which is your oath that you made to help the patient, or do you turn them away because of a regulation and let them suffer? That's the dilemma that naturopaths and practitioners have to face today, because they can't have access to these products. So the dilemma is, do I help my patients and take the risk, or do I let them go, treat them, or let them go because the regulations are restrictive? Pharma in government systems, short for PIGS. And the first pandemic that the World Health Organization released was what? Swine flu. It's fitting. The pharmaceutical industry does not want these products on the market. They do not want them. They want to reduce the potency. I mean, we already have our dairy board under Codex. We have our meat board under Codex. Most things are under Codex already. The framework for Codex for the natural health industry is already in place. All they need to do is have legislation to put it totally into place and restrict the total access to our health freedom. They'll reduce our potency to our vitamins. You won't have your 500 milligram of vitamin C. No, you won't. You'll have about a 40 milligram vitamin C. Everything will be reduced to a standard of daily dosage. What the government says is your necessary daily dosage. Therapeutically, it won't work. So I think what they were looking for a loophole. And I think certain bills that are being passed, or being attempted to be passed, Bill C-51, Bill C-6, and Bill C-36 right now, these are the bills that they're really dangerous to us, because there's a loophole that they can come in the back door and the foreign governments can take over, and it bypasses our parliament. This could happen without the bill. What will happen when it's in power? If this can happen without it, they're already using the same draconian measures with it not being in effect. What happens when it actually becomes in effect? How are you politicians going to be able to stop this from happening? You will not be able to, because it won't have to go through Parliament. They'll have the backdoor clause. Courts won't need a search warrant. So this is going to be common practice. They would rather a person be, after they've been raided, to be so afraid, to do nothing, and then they can control the industry and say, see, look what we did to that company. We'll do that to your company. You listen to what because we're in control. We can't let them do this. We have to be vocal. We have to tell our story. We have to let people know what's happened, because the only way that we can actually make a change is if everybody becomes aware. The alarm bell is starting to ring. People have to get out of their sleepy state, get out of the bed, and start making actions, because if it affects me, it'll affect them too. They're not any different than we are. They'll be affected. And then you go to your health store one day and say, I'd like to have some vitamin C or folic acid. I'm sorry, it's been taken off the market. We should have done something. Well, now's the time that they have to do something. You have the power in the people. The people, if they stand together, that's our only defense. If we stand together, we can defeat this. We put those people in power, and we can take them out of power. Our vote, and stand together in unity. We just won't put up with it. We have to, I have to, as a person in the industry, have to go with the NPN numbers and the regulations. Doesn't make my products any better. It's no better than when they were before. But now I have a number I can put on it, and the government gets my money. Anything that takes away our freedom, anything that takes away our rights, affects everybody. We're losing our own freedom here. We have to stand unified. We have to say, no, enough is enough. This is our freedom of choice. I can go buy liquor, I can go buy cigarettes, and there's no restrictions. 19, all they have to be is legal age. But I can't go get 500 milligrams of tryptophan in one capsule. Something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong. And awareness is the only thing that can make a change. People have to become aware. If it doesn't make sense, question it. And then look for things that will help the freedom. We see our freedom as being dissolved. Canada, even Canada, a great country like Canada, people look to Canada as a shining example. But if it can happen, what happened to my family, and we're trying to help the people. What's it going to do for the future? What do they really have in mind for us? It's better to change something now than try to wake up later and say, oh my God, look at the world we live in now. Now is the time to change.